Hey, awesome viewers. Get ready for a roller coaster of revelations as we dive into the jaw-dropping world of Jeffrey Epstein's list. We've got the scoop on court documents, famous names, and even a mystery unfolding right before our eyes. So if you're up for some shocking details and a bit of detective work, buckle up and join us on this wild ride. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because trust me, you won't want to miss a thing. Let's jump right in. Today we're unraveling a big mystery about some important papers, 943 pages to be exact. These aren't just any papers. They're like a treasure map to understand more about a guy named Jeffrey Epstein. He was a person who did some really wrong things and got into a lot of trouble. Now imagine these papers are like a superhero comic book, but instead of superheroes, they have real people talking about what they know. These people are talking about a friend of Jeffrey's, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is in big trouble too for doing bad things. These papers are like a collection of interviews and talks, kind of like when you and your friends discuss something important. But this is not a happy discussion. It's about some very serious stuff. Now, Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail for doing wrong things with Jeffrey Epstein. These papers were kept secret for a long time, almost like a hidden treasure chest, and they were finally opened for everyone to see. So, in these papers, there are mentions of some really famous people. Imagine you have a list of all the cool and famous people you know. It's like that, but not in a good way. There's a prince named Andrew who is mentioned more than 60 times. And even a former president, Bill Clinton, is there too. But wait, it's not saying they did something illegal, just that they knew Jeffrey Epstein. It's like knowing someone who did something wrong, but it doesn't mean you did something bad too. And guess what? Donald Trump is there too, but it doesn't say he did anything wrong either. It's like when you hear about people in the news, and sometimes they're just there but didn't do anything bad. So these papers are like a big puzzle piece. And there's more to come. Imagine if you get just a few pieces of a jigsaw puzzle and you have to wait for the rest. It's like that. We're waiting to see what else these papers will tell us. All right, guys, let's dive a bit deeper into this crazy list and talk about two very important names, Prince Andrew and former President Bill Clinton. So Prince Andrew's a fancy guy from England, and he's on this list more than 60 times. That's a lot, right? Now, the papers also say something pretty serious about him. They're talking about an accusation, kind of like when you say someone did something wrong. In this case, someone is saying that Prince Andrew did something that Buckingham Palace says is not true. On the other hand, we have Bill Clinton, who used to be the big boss of the United States. He's mentioned too, but not for doing anything wrong. It's more like he borrowed Jeffrey Epstein's planes for trips to Africa. That sounds pretty cool, but the documents don't say he did anything illegal. And guess what? Even Donald Trump's name is in there, but like with Bill Clinton, nothing bad is said about him. So it's like having famous people hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, but not necessarily doing anything wrong. Now, let's remember, just because their names are on the list doesn't mean they did bad things. It's more like they were friends with this guy Epstein, who turned out to be a very bad person. So it's kind of like being friends with someone who did something wrong, but you didn't know about it at the time. And that's the scoop on Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton from this list. All right, let's talk a bit more about the legal stuff. So you know how these papers talk about some big names like Prince Andrew and President Bill Clinton? Well, there are some important things to understand. Now, when we say legal implications, it's like talking about the serious consequences or results that could happen because of these papers being out in the open. Lucia Osborne Crowley, who's like a detective reporter for legal things, says that for some people mentioned in the papers, there's no talk of them doing anything wrong or against the law. But, and here's the interesting part, there's a story about Prince Andrew that's being repeated by another person in a serious talk with the court. This is a big deal because it's like telling the same story twice. And the more times we hear it, the more people might start asking questions. Prince Andrew and his palace friends have said it's not true, but it keeps coming up. Now think of these papers like a treasure map. For a long time, this map was kept secret, but now some parts of it are open for everyone to see. This might help other people who have had not so good experiences with Jeffrey Epstein to speak up and tell their stories too. So what does this mean? Well, some of the people on the list might need to answer more questions or even go to court because of what's written in the papers. But for others, it's like they're just on the map because they crossed paths with Jeffrey Epstein but didn't do anything wrong. Just remember, these papers are like a puzzle, and bit by bit, we're figuring out what happened. It might sound a bit like a detective story, right? Lucia also said that there's more to come, like the next chapters of a book. So, we'll keep an eye out for more updates. Now let's talk about why they haven't released all the names at once. It's like opening a mystery box, and here's the cool part. The legal system is being super careful about it. Imagine these documents are like a treasure map, but some parts are still hidden because they want to protect certain people's identities, especially those who have been through some tough times. You see, they are still figuring out which names need to stay hidden to keep people safe. So, the court is taking its time, going through each page and making sure it's done the right way. Lucia, the legal affairs reporter, said it's like doing a big puzzle. They are being careful not to reveal too much too quickly. Imagine if you were reading a really exciting book and someone spoiled the ending for you. It's like that they want to keep the suspense and reveal things bit by bit. So, it might seem a bit slow, but it's like peeling an onion layer by layer. We've got a taste of what's inside, and there's more to come. It's kind of like waiting for the next episode of your favorite show. And hey, that just makes it even more interesting, right? So be patient and let's see what other surprises the next batch of documents brings. It's like a detective story unfolding, and we're all part of the investigation. Well, there you have it, amazing viewers. We've uncovered some mind-blowing details about Jeffrey Epstein's list, and the story is just getting started. You were shocked as we were. Give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts down below. And hey, if you want to stay in the loop with all the latest updates and mysteries we unravel, hit that subscribe button and join our awesome community. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Remember, stay curious, stay informed, and we'll catch you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep exploring the world of knowledge with us.